Morning. My name is Megan Burnt. Thank you so much for your patience this morning. I'm Megan Burnt with AGCO Direct. We just had a couple little mic issues this morning, so thank you so much again for your patience in starting today's webinar. We do have a poll also in the chat, so hopefully you can see that. The poll is your dealership live on e-commerce? Obviously, that is one of the biggest reasons we're here today. And I wanted to start by diving in this morning. We do have Jamie from AGCO with us. He is an e-commerce parts manager with AGCO North America. And if you have worked at all on your e-commerce for your dealership, you've likely talked to Jamie. Hopefully, if our mic issues gets resolved for Avi will be speaking on how to drive traffic with Google. That was our delay this morning, so sincere apologies on that. But those are our two presenters, James and Avi with AGCO Direct. She's our digital media associate here. And then, like I said, we will start with Jamie. Jamie, you can take it away.
Yeah, hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Megan, and another opportunity to talk about e-commerce. Again, I manage our e-commerce business in North America here. So if your dealership's live on e-commerce or has ever been interested in participating, I've probably worked with you before. And I'll be your main guy if you ever need anything e-commerce related. What I'm going to do today is kind of just walk through the site at a high level, why it's important that we have an e-commerce solution for customers, how all the tools customers have at their fingertips, and a lot of the options you as a dealer have to leverage e-commerce and hopefully service your customers' needs. So going back to the beginning, AGCO, a few years ago, we participated in several studies and surveys with some of our consultants looking at the demand for e-commerce and why having a parts e-commerce channel is important. And one of the pretty important findings was that over time, the number of customers, and this is specifically farmers, who do research online has grown. And we're to the point where nearly 70% of farmers do some sort of research online before they make a purchase. So obviously that shows that it's super important that we have an online footprint and an e-commerce store that these customers can go to find the information they need and then ultimately hopefully make a purchase. And as we've built up the e-commerce site and as we've gone through this journey, we can actually see this progression in the numbers as well. So when you actually look at our traffic, we can see we've had hundreds of thousands of users come to the site, over 1 million sessions. So those users are coming back multiple times, reusing the site, and they've visited over 5 million pages. So when they get to the site, they look up multiple different parts books, machines, all that good stuff. So this is why it's really important to have an online channel and an e-commerce site to meet the demands of these customers. And we want to stay in front of them, make sure they're purchasing and having a good experience from your dealership and from AGCO. And as we were building the e-commerce site, we wanted to make sure we're meeting these customers' needs. So first off, it's important to have this online channel and this online footprint, but obviously it's equally as important, if not more important, to make sure this online channel meets these customers' needs. So, as I mentioned, more and more farmers are doing research online, and in today's modern age, they're used to having more and more data at their fingertips than ever before. So we wanted to make sure the e-commerce site was built to reflect this and to give your dealership an online channel to service these customers and provide these customers with a good experience, both from AGCO and from your dealership. And when we look at, what a customer is looking for when they shop online, the e-commerce site was built to meet those needs. So when a customer goes to the site, they can find a part. They can easily find the price that they're going to pay at your dealership. They can find specifications and details about that part, what machines it fits on, nice HD images so they can know what they're purchasing. And then they can see the availability, so they can see if they have it in stock at your dealership, if they can come pick it up, or when they can expect to get it delivered. And they can do this all 24/7. I know Megan likes to say, we want to meet the farmer where they are. And that's one of the powerful tools that e-commerce allows us to do. We can meet the farmer and their needs where they're at. So if they are browsing outside of business hours, they can still find the information they need. We actually find that about 40% of our traffic comes in outside of typical dealership hours. So if a farmer has an emergency in the field, or if they're wrapping up their day and your dealership's closed, they can still find the information they need. They can place that order and know that their dealership is going to receive it. And these are really all the main key pain points from a customer perspective, this is the information they need when they're going online, and this is the information they're looking for when they're doing that research. And by providing this, we can improve their experience and also hopefully alleviate some extra work from your dealership, so you don't have to worry about providing this basic information to a customer, because they can look it up and find it whenever they need it. Now, the second part of this journey is really the shopping experience. So we have all this awesome part data and all the information a customer will need to really make the purchase. But how are we making sure that the customer has a good shopping experience? They can find the part they need very easily and make the purchase very easily. So to do so, we've made several improvements to the site this year to provide more ways for customers to be able to find their part they're looking for, because we know the easier it is for the customer to buy the part, the more likely they're going to be able to purchase it from your dealership. So one of the things we've been focusing on is building up our machine-focused experiences as well as our brand-focused experiences. So one thing we launched earlier this year that now customers can take advantage of is the machine-focused journey. So we now have a new landing page dedicated to specific machinery. So a customer can go into the site, they can put in their machine information, and then it'll take them to our new machine landing pages. And this is our goal in the long term, to be a dedicated resource for customers who are looking up anything related to their machine. So if they come to our site, they put in their machine information, it takes them to this landing page where they can see, information about their machine. They can see the routine maintenance parts or quick reference guides of the machine, so they can easily find those high wear parts that they may need to purchase very quickly. Additionally, we have maintenance kits built into these pages as well, so a customer can do things like put in their service hours, and then we'll generate a list of parts that they might want to purchase. Again, trying to make that experience easier for the customer. And then going into the future, we want to continue to build out this page where it'll have videos, other important documents, integrating the parts books directly into this. So it really becomes the one kind of holy grail resource for the customer to find information about their machine and the parts they may need. And I'll touch on it in a bit, but we know as we make this experience easier, not only do customers buy more parts, but they may buy parts that they might not have bought from your dealer in the past. So kind of expanding on this, this has been a feature for a while, but it's still one of the ways that customers use the site the most is through our parts book journey. So if you're not familiar, we have essentially Epsilon built into the site for customers so they can look up machine diagrams, the parts for their specific machines. And then once they find those parts, they're only a couple clicks away from buying from their dealership. So this is still an important part of our machine focused journey as well. And again, going forward, we'd like to integrate these into our landing pages so customers have one spot to go to find all their machine information. And then kind of lastly, one of the more new things we've added over the last couple of months was our new brand focus journey. So it just gives a customer another way to access the site. So if they're interested in searching for specific brand information, we now have dedicated pages where a customer can land on a branded page and pull up their machine in a very similar way. The good thing about this is it gives customers another way to enter the site. So if we're looking at customers' browsing habits, the more keywords and more landing pages we can have gives us more ways for customers to enter the site. And ultimately, the goal is to drive more traffic, get new customers into the site and using it as a resource. And then, that helps drive incremental sales. So with these landing pages for both the machines and the brands, now when customers Google or go to a search engine, if they search specifically Fendt keywords or specifically machine related keywords, it gives us a new page that we can index on Google, a new way to get these customers in. And then, with all the resources we have here, hopefully they can find those parts more easily. Now, pivoting from kind of more of the shopping experience and more to the customer experience, another thing that we've been building out on the e-commerce site is giving the customer more tools at their fingertips in terms of a more registered curated experience. So if a customer creates an account on the site, they now have more benefits associated to that account than they ever have before. So they can do some different things like save their specific machines to their profile or parts books, or they can create their own parts lists. So if they have, a list of parts that they might reorder often or that they know they need in the future, they can save these to their profile all through their account section when they create an account. So we want to make that shopping journey easier. So when these customers come back to use the site, they can more easily pick up where they left off, hop into their machine resources, or reorder parts if they need to. Additionally, they can, review and track their past orders. So if they want to reorder something, they can easily do that. Or if they want to see the status, if that part has shipped yet from your dealership or not, they can check those things there as well. And then in terms of making their more dealer experience more curated, they can also select a dealer, make a dealer their preferred dealer. So every time they log in, that dealership will pop up and they can start shopping right away. Additionally, they can add their dealer account numbers to their account. They can do this through the My eCommerce Dealer section. This might be super useful if your dealership does a lot of your own in-house accounts, or if your business system integrates with our e-commerce site. It allows us to send those invoices directly to that customer's account or pull customer-specific pricing. So there's more tools now to help customers have a more curated experience to your dealership. And then lastly, at the end of last year, we integrated with AGCO Plus. So now customers can pay with AGCO Plus, and this is fully integrated with AGCO Finance. So when a customer puts in their AGCO Plus number and they check out, their account's automatically charged through AGCO Finance. Your dealership automatically gets paid. And then on the kind of smart rewards side, we also integrate directly with AGCO Plus Smart Rewards. So all the purchases customers make with their AGCO Plus account through e-commerce will go towards their smart rewards redemptions. They can see where they're tracking to earn their next certificate. They can redeem certificates through the site, and those will automatically be marked as redeemed. So there's a lot of cool benefits there. So obviously we encourage customers to create an account. I think this creates the most streamlined experience. And then also it gives us as AGCO and the dealer more data on that customer. So we can see what parts they're shopping for, what's in their cart. We can send them reminders, service notices, all that cool stuff. So one of the things we want to focus on going forward is building that database of registered customers and providing them the best experience possible, and also being able to market them in a more unique way. And now looking from a dealer side. So there's a lot of things built into the e-commerce site that, make it more of a curated dealer experience. So what we want to do is, when customers come to the site, this is really still your dealership's channel. So the customer selecting your dealership, they're making the purchase from your dealership, and you're the one really still maintaining that relationship. So we're building more and more features to help your dealership have a more custom experience and provide your customers with the experience that you want to curate for them. One of the big things that we launched last year that AGCO Direct leverages a lot and is a super helpful tool is the dealer-specific links. So essentially, if your dealership's on e-commerce, hopefully you're familiar with these. If not, these are URLs that every dealership will get. It's specific to your dealership. And when a customer uses this URL, it will take them to the e-commerce site with your dealership already selected, and they won't be able to switch to other dealers. So it gets customers right into your storefront, makes their experience easier. They can just start shopping right away. And then also it can help you feel a little bit more comfortable driving traffic to the site. Whenever you leverage any ads with AGCO Direct, they're going to use this link. So you know that all the ads that you run will go straight to your dealership, and you'll be the one capturing from the benefits of those advertisements. And one of the unique tools that comes along with these that we're trying to leverage more is QR codes. So obviously we can create a specific QR code that goes to this specific link, which can be super valuable in using in marketing materials. I'm sure a lot of you have, seen these QR codes in different ads, and, it can make it super easy to just whip out your phone, takes a customer to your e-commerce storefront where, they can start shopping or taking advantage of discounts and other things like that. One of the newer features that we've added that can be super useful as well, that some dealers are starting to take advantage of, is we can load specific homepage banners for each dealer. So if you want to create your own banner, you can work with me, or someone with AGCO Direct can support with that as well. But essentially, we can upload a banner specific to your dealer. So when a customer lands on the homepage, they might get more of a dealership focused perspective and feel like they're more in your storefront. So something you can definitely take advantage of there. And then one of the big things we do is promotions. So we do have promotional engines built into the site that have a lot of different functionalities and options, and many dealers have been taking advantage of them. And we actually use these as part of the AMP program as well. But essentially, if your dealership's ever interested in running a promotion on the site, or again, if they're participating in AMP, we could set up different discounts on the site. So if you want to do % off discounts, fixed discounts, free shipping, we can do all these different things, and we can do it in different ways as well. So we can set it up as a coupon code, or we can set it up as, orders over X value qualify for this. Or we can set up these discounts to only apply to, specific categories, which is something we do for AMP. So if you're running a category campaign with AMP, we'll set up these discounts on the e-commerce site as well. And then we can even set up customer specific discounts. So if you have some customers who you give special discounts, or you want to give them some extra benefits for using the e-commerce site, we can set up different discounts as well. So a lot of tools there. And then one of the new programs that we launched this year was our dual fulfillment program. So if your dealership's looking for assistance in how you manage and fulfill orders, I'd recommend you participate in our dual fulfillment program. You can find more information on that in our e-commerce dealer portal page. But essentially, the idea of the program is, if your dealership receives an order that you don't have the parts in stock at your dealership, AGCO will automatically drop ship to the customer, and will provide a discount on the shipping rates we charge. So your dealership will still get paid for the order. Your dealership's still technically fulfilling the order. However, AGCO, we're just triggering an automatic drop shipment. And the idea there is, we can get the part to the customer as fast as possible. Hopefully save your dealership some time, so you don't have to go into solutions and place an order for that part and then ship it to the customer. And then again, AGCO, we do provide some freight discounts on those types of orders. So really cool program to additionally help your dealer experience with e-commerce. And again, you can find more information and sign up for that on our dealer portal as well. All right. And then lastly, just to kind of sum things up from my perspective, how is e-commerce impacting the dealer experience overall for dealers who are participating? So when you look at dealers participating in e-commerce, there's those that aren't. The dealers participating in e-commerce, their retail sales growth is growing faster, which, obviously that all can't be attributed to e-commerce, but we certainly think it's a big piece of that. And when you look at e-commerce sales, we've looked at our e-commerce sales history and compared that to dealerships in-store sales history. And from what we estimate, we can see about 25% of the sales that come in through e-commerce are incremental to the dealerships that are selling these parts. So these are truly new sales. Many of them are parts the dealership may not have sold before, or customers they have not serviced before. So it's a great opportunity to gain these new sales, and certainly should have some impact on your retail sales growth. And then when you look at e-commerce sales as a whole from an AGCO perspective in our dealership network, it's really growing as a channel incrementally. So we've seen it approximately double year over year, the amount of business we're doing in e-commerce. And 2024 has actually been one of our fastest growing years in terms of e-commerce growth across our dealer network, where we're actually over doubling this year. So it's really continuing to be a growing channel. And again, can be a great way for your dealership to service your customers who want to shop online and capture incremental sales. So certainly we think an important part of our business going forward and how we service customers and online and offer them new digital channels and tools that they can leverage. So I think, again, super important to AGCO's vision going forward. And hopefully your dealerships, for those of you who are participating, are seeing this as well. And we really only can expect this to continue to grow. So that's kind of all the content I had. Looks like there's some questions in the chat, so I'll try to address those as we go. And I think we have a Q&A at the end. But again, if you do have anything that comes up e-commerce related, check the dealer portal. You can submit queries there, or if you have my contact information, you can always reach out to me directly, or your AGCO Direct account reps are super valuable as well, and they can point you in the right direction. So again, appreciate the time today, and thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Again, team, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat as we go. As Jamie mentioned, we do have a Q&A at the end. And also, I did see we did get some interaction on the poll. Continue to put those answers in. We got a few saying, I want to learn more. Love also to see that a lot of you answered, yes, we are live on e-commerce already. So we love to see that. Continue to use those. And as Jamie said, we will kind of look through those questions as we go and answer some at the end. And if we don't have time for everything, of course, we'll follow up and reach out after the fact. We have Avi, and we're hoping our mic issues are resolved. Avi, do you want, if we can dive into Google opportunities?
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes. Wonderful.
Perfect. Hi. Really nice to meet everyone. Sorry for the technical issues. I am a digital media associate here at Flint Group, and I will be talking about some Google tactics that we can use to drive traffic to the e-commerce site. I will start with search ads. Search ads appear on Google sites, including Shopping tab, Google Images, Google Maps, and the Maps app. And the intent of the search ad is to reach customers exactly when they're reaching for a certain service or product or a part that they're looking for. The benefits of a search ad, the targeting is very specific. We use keyword targeting to target, meaning we bid on relevant keywords to reach the audience that are actively searching for the product, like I mentioned. It is also very cost effective. We only pay when an ad is clicked on. So it gives us flexible opportunities to manage this budget and increase it or decrease it when we think it's necessary. And the other benefit of the search ad is that it's very measurable. We can track KPIs, and we can measure performance like click-through rate or cost per click, conversions and cost per conversions, and assess and make educated optimizations based on all these measurable metrics that we can get. The creative components on a search ad include headlines, descriptions, URL, and extensions. Examples for the extensions are site links, structure snippets, or even callouts. Best practice for the creative for a search ad is short and sweet, straight to the point. As many keywords as we can include also increases performance of the given search ad. So keeping it very relevant to the URL and the page that we're going to send people to usually results in very, very well created ad. The next tactic would be Performance Max. Performance Max is kind of like all-in-one campaign. It combines various formats and placements into one campaign, and it allows us to reach potential customers across all Google's inventory, meaning YouTube, Display, Search, Discover, Gmail, and also Maps. With very high-quality assets, the optimization and the performance is very well. So the benefits of PMax is the automated targeting. Google uses AI learning and automatically optimizes targeting and bidding based on our goals. So we set signals and give Google as much information as we can, and then it uses the automated AI learning to target those people that thinks will resonate with our ad. We also are able to do cross-channel reach, like I mentioned before, because it has access to all Google's inventory. We are able to reach and connect with users at different stages of the buying journey, meaning we can reach them with a display ad, and then also once they search for it, they can see that, and we can also show video ads as well. PMax also uses dynamic ad creation. So PMax will use all the assets we put in to create combinations that will resonate the best with the given target market and audience that we were targeting. It also provides a variety of formats that can enhance the performance across the different channels. And the creative components that go into a PMax ad will be the same as headline descriptions, images, videos, and URLs. And the same goes to PMax. The more keywords we can use in the headlines and descriptions, and the more high quality images and videos we do, the better the ads will perform. Having a video is not a must, but it is definitely opens up more placements, and it shows to like we talked about YouTube and even Maps as a video ad. And then the next one will be a display ad. The opportunities with display ads are huge. Display appears on over 3 million websites and over 650,000 applications. It is great for awareness and just building brand awareness in general and getting that wide reach. And going into the benefits of that, like I mentioned, the wide reach, it covers so many websites and allow us to reach a huge audience that we can narrow down based on location, age, demographics, and interest and behavior. So for another great opportunity for retargeting that we've seen great success is retargeting. When we have a site with e-commerce, we can set conversions based on add to cart or purchase, and then using those to build audiences that, for example, someone added something in their cart but they didn't check out. We can create that audience and then retarget them with an ad that says, you forgot something in your cart, come back and finish what you started. And having that language that pushes call to action and then pushes people to finish what they started. And for the creative components of that would be another headline, long headlines, descriptions, and images. And like I talked about before, it could be very specific to the action we want people to take on the site. And we can just make them take that action and push them to finish what they started. And for all of these tactics, keep in mind that these are suggestions in a perfect world. You know, budget obviously goes into that. And sometimes budget doesn't allow to have all three of them. It might allow to just have one. But in combinations, these three would work very well together and drive very high quality traffic that is high likely to convert. And also, if they don't convert, then we'll be able to retarget them and just make sure that they're served the ad one more time just to see if they can finish what they started. So if you have any questions about all these tactics or what a budget recommendation would be, feel free to talk to your account team and we can definitely have that provided for you. And then having conversions set up and analytics so we can make sure that we track all of that correctly is also very important for the success of all these campaigns, because PMAX is very conversion based tactic and so is search. So having all of that set in place would be very important for us to track. And that was all I have.
Okay, great job, Avi. Thank you so much for going through that. We did get a couple questions in the chat that I'm gonna read aloud, and please feel free to type more in the chat if anyone has anything. Thank you again, Jamie and Avi, for being here. Jamie, does e-commerce cost the dealership anything? How does that work?
Yep. Yeah. Great question. So really there's two fees associated with participating in e-commerce. First, there's AGCO. We do charge a $100 a month maintenance fee to participate. However, with that being said, we do have an annual program that dealers can sign up for called our e-commerce sales commitment program. And more information for this going into 2025 will be sent out in the upcoming months. But the way this works is your dealership can commit to selling a certain percent of your parts through e-commerce, and then you'll get that $100 a month maintenance fee waived. As long as you hit that target, then it'll be free to participate. In addition to that, you also can get waived drop ship fees through that program as well. So there's some nice additional benefits. And then the only other fee associated with participating in e-commerce is we do have a credit card processor that all dealers must sign up, create an account with to be able to accept credit cards through the site, called Stripe. And Stripe does charge a processing fee. So it's free to create an account with Stripe. They don't have any monthly recurring fees or anything like that, but they do take a percent of each transaction that goes to the site, about 2.9%. And this would only be for credit card orders that go through the site. So if a customer pays with AGCO Plus or goes in store, you don't have to worry about that fee. But those would only be the only two direct costs associated with e-commerce.
Another question is, do you have a proof of what one of the sub banners looks like? Jamie, was there an example in the presentation?
I don't think I had a direct, I had a homepage banner in there, but I didn't have a sub banner. But definitely have an example of that I can send to the group after this.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, there's another question in the chat.
Yep, I believe I see the one you're referring to. I can touch on this. So Kate is saying, I can create consignment for an order that has been shipped. Is there a way to let the customer know that is being prepared before it is being shipped? This way, it doesn't look like it's just sitting there. So great question, and just to get in a little background for dealerships who aren't aware. But when your dealership, if you're participating in e-commerce, you'll receive the orders as they come in. And then as you're ready to fulfill those orders, there is a system where you go into the back end and mark them as shipped or ready to be picked up. Call it creating a consignment. So there's not a way to directly let a customer know that it's being prepared. But the way that we manage this is when a customer places the order, so you as a dealer receive an order notification email, but at the same time, the customer will receive a slightly different order notification email, and it'll say, I forget the exact verbiage, but it does say your dealership has received the order and will begin processing it. You'll receive an email when the order has shipped or when it's ready to be picked up. So the customer is notified when they place the order that, hey, your dealership will take some time to review and process this. So hopefully they don't think it's just sitting there. And then once you're ready to ship it out, you create consignment, then they'll be notified. So hopefully the customer should be aware of the process. But it's something we can all take a look at refining.
And Jamie, it looks like we have another question in here. Does e-commerce allow for dealers to order and buy event items like branded tents, table covers with coolers, etc.? Parts e-commerce is customer facing, so I think I'll let you weigh in, but I would say no. You could do that with AGCO Direct or another vendor. However, parts e-commerce is, I guess the end customer, the farmer, they're ordering their parts and parts and materials from the dealer itself, not a dealer facing portal.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Brandon, hopefully that answers your question. What do we do if it says dealer fulfillment, but we do not have it in inventory?
Yep. Great question. So this is in regards to the dual fulfillment program I talked about earlier. So the way this program works is we'll look at whether your dealership has stock or not. If you don't have stock, usually that'll go to AGCO for fulfillment of the order. We'll automatically drop ship that. However, there are some rare scenarios where even if your dealership doesn't have inventory, we'll still assign that as dealer fulfillment. Mainly that'll be because of back orders. Usually there might be some other outlining scenarios as well. The reason we do this is like if a part goes on back order, we don't know exactly how the customer wants to handle that. So we leave it to the dealer. So the dealer can reach out to the customer and say, hey, are you fine waiting for this back order? If they are, the dealer can wait till it's in stock and then fulfill the order. If they're not, your dealership could try to procure it in a different way, maybe through the dealer-to-dealer program, or ultimately cancel the order. So there are going to be some scenarios where your dealership might not have stock, and we still assign it to being dealer fulfilled. In those scenarios, we recommend you try to fulfill the order if possible. Whether if it's not on back order, you can try to drop ship it or order it into the dealership. If not, you do as a dealer have an option to cancel the order if you need to as well.
Another great question. What shipping business do you have to use to ship parts from a dealership?
Great question. So we actually have no restrictions in terms of how dealerships can fulfill the orders. They can use whatever carrier they prefer. Our only guidance coming directly from AGCO is to try to fulfill the orders in as timely a manner as possible. Generally, what we'll say on the site is orders will ship in 1 to 5 business days based on availability to give your dealership some wiggle room. But as long as you're fulfilling that requirement and shipping these parts out in a timely manner, we don't care what carrier you use. And as part of the back-end process, you can provide tracking information to the customer, and we support most tracking systems for most carriers. So FedEx, UPS, USPS in the US, and then in Canada, Purelator, Canada Post, and a few other options as well. So there's no restrictions there in terms of how you fulfill orders.
Great. Thank you, Jamie. That is all the questions in the chat. I'll give it maybe another second to see if anything else comes in. We did get great interaction in the polls, so thank you all who weighed in and answered on our poll. It's great to see a lot of you are already live on Parse eCommerce. There's a few of you who marked, I want to learn more. Again, feel free to reach out to Jamie or your AGCO Direct account manager, and we can kind of start those conversations. With that said, we do have nothing else in the chat. So thank you again, Jamie and Avi, for coming in and letting us learn more about Parts eCommerce and also how to drive traffic to Google. So thank you, everyone else.
Yep. And one last thing I'll throw in here is for anyone interested in e-commerce, you can go to our dealer portal page. There's a sign up there, and it'll go directly towards me. So if you don't already have my contact information, you're not on e-commerce, that'd be the best way to reach me. And I know there's a couple questions here we didn't directly address. We'll make sure to get answers in there following the call.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.